Welcome to ACT's presentation of some of the highlights of our latest version of CAMA. Let's get right into it. So we've been using this older version of CAMA now for several years, and here's a picture of it. It's small. It's meant to fit on an 800 by 600 screen VGA monitor. Many of us have larger screens now, so we have expanded the CAMA screen and given you larger and more defined buttons to use. We've also added a couple of new tabs on the ownership screen, and we have renamed the AC field appropriately to NC. AC stood for Assess Code, which we basically were using as a new construction code. So now it says NC to mean new construction. And that will be renamed on all of the screens within CAMA. You'll also notice that the tax status displays in the top bar, which is consistent among all the screens in CAMA. That stays the same for that parcel. One thing that has changed is when you void a parcel, currently status must be VP, but you might want to retain your status of when it had a building permit or some other status that you've added. So we now have a tax status field, and that will be where the VP code for void parcel belongs. Also, exempt and public service will go there. This also allows you to maintain your type code as to being the type of parcel that it is. This is especially important for an exempt parcel if you are trying to determine how many exempt improved parcels or how many exempt vacant parcels you have. Additional browse options have been added. You can also browse now by owner ID, mobile home number, which we'll talk about in a minute, and section township range. In the name maintenance screen, the zip code search can be limited to the client's particular state zip codes, making the search much quicker. Many of you have tried to search for a city and found one in probably all 50 states, and you have to search for the one in your particular state. This one is set up to search only in Arkansas, so you'll be able to find just the city that you're looking for very quickly. Moving on to the next tab in the ownership screen, we've added an entire tab for the legal description. It has been added so that we can provide both the short and the extended legal. So you may type a short legal description in the legal field to be transmitted in the collector's extract and print on the bills. But the extended legal allows you to type the entire legal description as it appears on the deed, or in this case, just some abbreviations. But you can also copy and paste into these fields from another document. So if you have a deed document, you can copy and paste characters from it into here. You may also print this extended legal or send it to a file to provide to taxpayers or anyone else who might be interested in the actual full legal. On the transfer tab, an instrument field has been added to accommodate many circuit clerks are now using an instrument number instead of book and page. So now you have a special field just to put that instrument number in. You don't have to try to fit it between book and page. The taxable status mailer, or the homestead form, now has a dialog to print a new form in English or Spanish. We are in discussions right now about printing one side in English and the other side in Spanish, making it a double-sided form. If you have any comments on this, please let support know. We'd be happy to listen to what you have to say about it. Here is a sample of the new version of the English homestead form. You'll notice that it has some boxes for the taxpayer to fill in: owner-occupant name, their birth date, daytime phone number. It accommodates 2 owners, so in this case you could have one line for Terry Dickey and one line for Gina Dickey, and that way if one of them passes and you have to pass that homestead on to the other, or particularly the fixed over 65, you'll be able to do that with this same form. They won't have to fill out a new form if you have information on both of them. And here is the Spanish version of the form. The last tab on the ownership screen is New. It's the Inquiries tab, and it is optional. Just let support know if you wish to have this available in your county. What it's for is to provide a history of informal inquiries concerning a parcel. So when someone contacts you regarding this parcel, somebody calls, you can just go record that information right here. Record their phone number, their email, or whatever is going on, put their problem, and come back later and type in the resolution. This will allow you to keep track of any communication regarding this parcel. For instance, if somebody wants to call and keep trying to get a hold of a different person to get the answer that they want to hear, as soon as somebody pulls up the screen, they'll know that this person has called over and over and what the outcome of those conversations were. But that all depends on you doing the entry when you get the phone call. So it's really important to make your notes here. On the site screen, the notes have now been moved to their own tab, and the market land and use value land tabs have been combined into a single land tab. On the site data tab, we've added fields for sidewalk, area layout, and noise. Keep in mind that these codes on the site data screen or tab do not affect value. They're simply information for the appraiser. The land notes has been moved to its own tab, and you can see here that you'll be able to see a list of the notes, and when you're on each one, this one's highlighted, you can see what it is down here. Market land and use value land will now be on the same land tab, so you won't have to flip back and forth between market and use value to see if you have accommodated the entire parcel. So in this one we have 1 acre of house lot and 28.6 acres of use. Looks like we have a total of 28.6, so we may need to go back and adjust one of those use value acres down 1. Okay, now we're over on the cost screen on the sketch, and notice that the AC field has now been changed to NC for new construction, which is what we were using it for all along. It just didn't have the proper name. We have also added on the remarks field another place for the NC code, so you can code the entire card newly discovered, and added a mobile home number field. Currently it can be used for a sticker or permit number, and coming soon there'll be enough space for a VIN. Every mobile home comes with a VIN, just like a vehicle does, so you can record that there if that information is available. Should help you track that particular mobile home as it moves from parcel to parcel within your county. Moving over to the value screen, looking at the visit record tab, the revisited ID and date has been added to the grid. So there's data at the bottom of the screen still for revisited and entry ID and date, but those are simply displays of old converted data, and they cannot be edited. But so from now on you'll edit those items within the grid on each line each time there is a visit. Going to the operator table, and this is a really neat feature. It allows you to copy an existing user security to a new user ID. So let's say you hire a new person and they are going to process deeds very similarly to what another person in your office does. You can just go to that old person's ID and use the copy function and copy all of their privileges to a new user for the new person. Then you can go edit it just as you edit any user if you want to, but that helps you not miss anything. I know creating a new user ID is a little bit stressful for some of us, so this should help reduce that stress. On the market table, the market group has been renamed to market area throughout CAMA to clarify terminology between CAMA and state agencies. Market area is actually a grouping of neighborhoods. So now you can see here in this photo that these neighborhoods are all in the same market area. On the parcel select, you will now be able to share a parcel select with other users. You can either select to share with all users by using the *** option, or you can just send it to another user. Now, if you send it to another user, it will no longer be your parcel select, so that changes it. You lose it once you send it to a specific user. If you send it to all, you will still have it. But this is really handy when you call support and you need some help with a parcel select. Sometimes it's easier for us just to create it for you, so we can just log on to your server, create a parcel select, and assign it to you. And then you can see how it works, so you can do your next one. Another function is that the parcel count report can be run by a specific appraiser. If appraisers are assigned to certain neighborhoods, you can run parcel counts by their initials. The assessment book dialog now provides an option to sort by name. You can use this report to provide information about a group of parcels to anyone who asks. Customer, a tax entity, if they need a listing of parcels with owner names and values and things, this is a good report to rely on. And many people might want it sorted by name so they can hunt down certain owners. So now you can sort it by name. The new construction dialog now has a new tax entity summary report. This will assist with rollback calculations, or you can provide this information to the taxing entities. I know sometimes in larger counties it takes several tax districts to make up a particular school district. You usually have at least two, one inside the city and one outside. Well, you may even have multiple cities in that tax district, or in that school district, so you might have up to 5 or 6 tax districts that have to make up that school district information. Now you don't have to do that manually. This tax entity summary will do it for you. And here is a photo of that report. This is a very small county report, so you can't really see as much as you might like, but in particularly a larger county, this will be very important. Notice that it provides the market value and the assessed value so that you can use those in your rollback calculations. The parcel notes dialog allows for private notes to be excluded from the report. You can also print the notes for the current parcel only. Sometimes that's nice if you're headed to the field and you need to know all of the notes that are applicable to that parcel. Or you can hide private notes if you are printing this for a constituent or taxpayer. The Assessment and Value Overrides dialog now has clear and check buttons to assist with either clearing all the options or checking all the options. This is similar to how the value recalculation dialog works. It's just simply a time-saving device. You can still manually check and uncheck individual overrides. The Extend Taxes dialog provides for an RPID range, making it easier to run in small batches. If you are a very large entity and you have lots of parcels, sometimes it's a little cumbersome to try to run the entire file at one time, extend taxes. So you can separate it into groups by RPID. A word of caution, you do not want to skip any RPIDs. You should keep a list of the ones you have processed and the ones that are to be processed so that you don't miss any parcels when you extend taxes. Normally, support does this for you, so this may not be anything that you actually use. Subject to Amendment 79, dialog provides an option to run the report on selected homestead codes. You can now provide a summary of value information regarding each type of homestead code. So for instance, if somebody said, well, how much value are we losing compared to the market value on homes with the fixed or disabled codes? You could run it only on fixed or disabled and find this out. Sometimes taxing entities wish to know this information. There's a new report in this version called the Top Taxpayers Report. And if you've worked in the office for a while, you probably got this phone call from a bond company who's wanting to write a bond for a school district, and they want to know the top taxpayers in that school district. So it's in the Reports Tax menu item. And if you set up name links in the name maintenance screen, you can link names like Walmart Stores or Walmart Stores Incorporated. Anything that you know is exactly the same entity, they just happen to put different names on the deeds so that they don't necessarily match here. So you can use a name link similar to what you would use to link parcels for a deed or a sale. You would use a name link number to link those names together. Get a more accurate report. So here's a sample of a top taxpayers report, and in this one both Walmart and Walmart Stores Incorporated are listed. And if you did a name link with those two, they would show up as one listing, and their assessed value and taxes would be summed together. We now have an informal changes ledger available in the hearings dialog. This is also available in the current CAMA version because it is a request from the Assessment Coordination Department. They want to know not only what board changes were made, but also informal changes. So if you use your hearings function, you can get this report right back out. And here is what a sample of that report looks like. Many of you may have forgotten about your preferences dialog. It's available in both the reports and value menu. It's the last item in those menus. And now there is an option in it to select your default browse. So instead of every time you open CAMA, the default browse being RPID, you can set it to whatever you want. Many people have decided to keep theirs set to owner, because RPID and parcel number are both, you can just type them into those fields and the CAMA will go to that parcel. You don't actually need to browse for RPID or parcel. So remember your preferences dialog on your reports and value menu so you can set default settings. Kind of helps with not having to change something every time you do, like the report type. This one is set to PDF because this person uses a laptop and they're not always connected to a printer, but they can always save a PDF file. The Valuation Edits menu has been renamed to Res Ag Edits to differentiate it from the commercial edits. Formerly it was only called edits, and you simply had to know that it only applied to residential and agricultural parcels. So thanks for watching. We'll be rolling out this new version to our Arkansas clients as time and circumstances permit. We will not convert a county during the final year of the reappraisal cycle so as to avoid any confusion or problems during such a critical time. There's no reason to do that, and hopefully by this time next year, every county will have the new version. If you have any questions or suggestions, we would love to hear from you. Please email us at support@arcamatech.com or give us a call at our support hotline. Thanks for watching.